let's move on to item number 11.1 on unfinished business, and that's adopt resolution reversing the Planning Commission's approval of a one-time, one-year extension of 3 variances and 1 design review permit for the Asher duplex project located at 271 and 271.5 South Jefferson Street. Mr. Dowswell.
Yes, Madam Mayor. Sorry.
That's okay.
It is late. It is late. Old habit. Old habit. Yes, Mr. Mayor.
I'm comfortable with
You've been there for a couple of weeks by now. Anyhow,
I've worked with people who are male gender but feel that they are female, so that's okay.
No, just an old habit. Anyhow, as you mentioned, this is a follow-up to a hearing that you had on January 13th, 2009, where you considered an appeal for Mr. Dalton of a Planning Commission decision extending a approval for a duplex that was being proposed at 271 and 271.5 South Jefferson. At the last meeting, the council directed staff to prepare the necessary findings to reverse the decision of the Planning Commission and uphold the appeal by Mr. Dalton. Staff, working with the city attorney, has prepared the findings that are contained in resolution that's attachment 1. The resolution states the findings for the council's decision as to the action that you directed staff to take at your last meeting. And with that, I'll try to answer any questions that you might have.
I need to point out that because I was on the Planning Commission when this decision was made, I cannot enter into any discussion or vote on this.
That's correct. Okay. David, I do have a couple of questions. After we denied the request to extend, based on a recommendation of the Planning Commission to extend Mr. Ascher another year, I toured it in that area, and you know, it's an area of eclectic, if you will, construction, and it is what it is at this point in time. But I also noticed that that whole area really is is comprised of non-conforming lots. So my question at this point is, with the action that we took earlier tonight in terms of giving you some direction of going back and moving towards fixing those or allowing variances to be given, will that kind of resolve some of this concern? And the point I'm trying to make is that no matter what project comes, whether it's a single-family home or a multiple-family home, there's always going to be a need for variances. And I just, you know, that troubles me that no matter what is done, people can't do anything.
There are 2 things that are planned. At the next Planning Commission hearing, there will be a proposed zoning ordinance amendment that will allow single-family homes that are in the multifamily zone to be restored to their present size if they're destroyed by a natural catastrophe, which currently they can't do. If it's destroyed by more than 51% of the valuation, theoretically, only a multifamily structure can go back in its place. So we'll be bringing that change as per the council direction forward immediately. Then, as Councilmember Charamello mentioned briefly earlier, we have a proposal that has been shared with the GPAC last night to amend the RM2 zoning to reduce the lot size minimum and some of the other setback requirements to be consistent with the majority of those lots. And I will just give you a number. 106 of the 135 lots that exist in the area south of West A, west of 113, up to the railroad, has some anomaly from a setback or size anomaly. We're going to try to correct most of those. Okay. It will still there will be needs for still some variances in that we have some really small lots, like 2,500 to 3,000 square feet, but they're a very small percentage. So our hope is to get it to where in the future, anybody that owns a normal sized lot in that older part of town won't be having to request variances. That's probably scheduled for the March meeting, and so you'll likely see that if all goes well, April or May. Okay. So we're trying to fix those known problems as quickly as possible, but you know, there's just only so many items you can put on a general meeting, and with other applications, we didn't want to overburden the planning commission.
Yeah, if, you know, and I hear what you're saying, and it appears that you're moving forward very rapidly, and, you know, if there is such a thing as a fast track, I would strongly encourage you and the planning commission to do that, so.
The other point that I wanted to make in response to the mayor's comment is one of the findings that's in front of you, it's number 3 in that resolution, is that the owner can enlarge, alter, or remodel the existing single-family home without the need for variances. So I just wanted to make the point that it is possible to use the property without a variance.
Okay, all right.
The last thing, which is, again, goes back to this whole issue of the RM2 zoning, and this will take longer, is our hope is that we'll get a certified housing element that will allow us to remove the restriction of single-family being a permitted use in the multifamily zone, which currently is not. So that's our third step in this process, but that won't happen until sometime after July. And then, again, it'll put it in a situation where a single-family property owner could choose to demolish the structure that's there and build back a new single-family home without any special permitting needed. So that's part 3 of sort of the fix for that area.
Okay. All right, thank you, Dave.
I have a question for you, Dave. I found 271 South Jefferson. Where is 271 and a half located?
It's an arbitrary assignment to the second unit that would have been built.
So that one lot, that skinny little lot, is the entire...
Yes.
It's actually 271.
The presumption is that the U.S. Mail would have assigned a half to the new second unit on that same lot because it would have been detached.
Thank you.